Hello everybody, here we are again, and today we are going to make something inspired by Alexander Calder. We're going to do a fish, and even though it says you need all these different things, I think you can make this art project with whatever you have at home. My Sharpie marker's not working, so I'm using black crayon today. I have regular copy paper, and instead of having watercolor paints, I have a piece of blue paper, so I'm going to use that. But I'm going to take you through the steps to actually do the fish itself. So stick around, get what you need, and let's get started. All right, we're going to get started with just drawing the fish itself. Take a close look at what the fish looks like in our slide deck. And then take your finger to draw out what the fish is going to look like. A nice large arch this way comes down, then a sideways letter V for the mouth, and then scoop it up and cross the tail. Let me try that again. Around, V for the mouth, scoop it up for the tail. I'm ready to roll. Here we go. And then I connect the tail, and there's my fish. The next thing I'm going to do is draw some lines about the length of the top of my thumb. I'm going to keep going all the way around here until I come to the end of the mouth. I am going to put the eyeball on the end of one of those lines. The next thing, the chevron pattern, which is a letter V to connect the line. And then I'm going to go from the point of each one of those chevrons and come down. If they start to get too close together, I'm going to skip one so that I can keep these netting cells nice and big. So I'm going to have to do the same thing there. I think I've got my centers here. A couple lines in here, maybe just across the tail. Give you 3 or 4 sections there. Now we're ready to go. The next section has to do with shapes and colors. So choose either maybe the colors that Alexander Calder used, which were those bold primary colors, or maybe pick your favorite colors, because that's what Calder did, was he painted and constructed things with his favorite colors. So choose a bunch of your favorite colors, make sure you have light and dark, maybe consider using warm and cool colors in different intentional ways. Now we're going to go back to lesson 1 and talk about shapes. What different kinds of shapes can we make? We've got geometric shape and we've got organic shapes. I'm going to start with a circle, and the only black I'm going to use, I'm going to do a couple circles here and then color the inside circle because that'll give us a really good solid eyeball. Maybe trace the outside, give it some definition. Now I'm done with the black. Put that baby away. Now we're going to do different shapes with different colors. If you can give each netting cell a shape with 2 colors, that's what we're shooting for. That's going to give us that Calder kind of dynamics. So let me start in this big one here. I'm going to start with kind of a geometric shape, like a hexagon. Make a nice solid outside outline. And then I'm going to color it in with a lighter color. And so you'll want to make shapes like this in each one of the cells. I'm just going to go around and start putting some shapes in. Remember that in addition to geometric shapes, you can make organic shapes. Those are shapes that we're not going to make them crazy, but they can be kind of smush sides. They don't have to have angles. Now, I mentioned watercolor painting. If you have a large piece of white paper and you have watercolor paints, I want you to use warm colors. Review warm colors, blue, greens, purples. And get the paper a little damp first, a little water on the paper, and that way when you touch the paper with the watercolor paints, it will spread and it will give kind of that watery mixed sort of look. I don't have any watercolor paints where I am right now. So I do have a piece of blue paper, and I'm just going to adapt and modify and make creative decisions here. So the next thing I need to do is cut out my fish and mount it to my background. If you're watercolor painting, you'll have to let your painting dry before you can mount your fish. Otherwise, you are done with the project. You did great. Have a lovely day.